projects are getting the hull ready to float once again. But we might be switching crew, as Ellie seems to prefer Swab's bed and he hers. But while I'm busy getting a video out to you guys, Garrett's evening project sees the light of day.
Alright, so I got our water tank right here that's going up under our bunk up here, so I just got to build a frame for it, and then the frame will get spiked down into the floor timbers, and then I can bring the tank down, and still need to figure out how I exactly want to attach it all, but start with the frame so it'll have kind of a platform or a foundation to sit into. Hey! Hey! I got it.
It's good our haul out is coming to a close, and Reid's is just beginning, because boys will be boys, and brothers are the worst. No work would ever get done, only pranks and brewskis, but enjoying the family time, nonetheless, is super important. Garrett's been working on installing our 100-gallon water tank in the evenings. Mostly he's been busy dismantling our bunk and trimming keel bolts and cutting limber holes. But now he's on to the fresh construction. We've been crashing on our port quarter bunk for some time now, and we're due for another household improvement. Rediviva's received a lot of aesthetic upgrades, but as a liveaboard, things like a sink and onboard water would be nice. Currently, our dishes are done on the ground, and shower and toilet are thanks to the marina. Finishing the water tank install is just one beginning piece of Rediviva's next chapter as a sailing, cruising, comfortable home.
So this is basically a footprint of the water tank. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to put it in here, kind of where to angle it, how to angle it, so it's not in the way of anything. It's sitting on these two floors nicely, but I need to block up, put some support on that end. I'll probably put some big lags down into the floor timbers, and then I don't know if I'll put some bolts through the floor timbers and run some big straps around the tank itself, or I'll figure that out later. But yeah, for now, just get this in here and get it situated and go from there.
Want a hand?
Can you grab that end? Mm-hmm. Pick your end up that way.
We then debated about lowering the mattress. Thanks to a follower who saw the old shit we were sleeping on, bought us a new one. Twice as tall.
Yes, please. Ow! See, that's why we need to lower the mattress.
The dry fit for the water tank checks out, so now take it back out, and then Garrett can fasten the frame all into place. That's the game plan, right?
Mm-hmm. I just got the frame for the water tank all fastened down. I got big old number 14 by 3-inch galvanized wood screws going into the floor timbers, and then when I get the tank in, I'm gonna put probably big eye bolts through these floor timbers and run big ratchet straps over top the tank to hold everything down. Because the tank will be, if I remember correctly, the tank will weigh 846 pounds when it's full. So we're gonna need some serious tie downs. But these are big, heavy floor timbers, structurally you know, they're part of the structure of the backbone and the frames and everything. They're bolted all the way through the keel. And I mean, they're just massive, a lot of material there. So we can put some big eye bolts through them and then run some just super heavy duty ratchet straps over the top of the tank with some nice rubber down to keep the chafe at bay, and that should be more than adequate. Okay, about to throw the tank in. I just remembered to throw a couple more supports in the middle there so the water tank wouldn't sag and possibly start to hit the those floor bolts. Everything's ready, so I'm gonna throw this water tank in. Oh, so I forgot I have one more little bit to trim, of course, but it's just where one of the water outlets are. I'm just gonna come in right about there, and just take a little meat off there. Okay, one more thing. All right, it fits. So now I just got to go to the store, find some eye bolts, and get those through the floors, but one step closer. So here's the hull, right? And the bed is kind of basically shaped something like that, and comes to a beautiful, beautiful point like that. And so the way it was before, it came out to a certain point, and then it had a diagonal end, and then we had another bit up here. This distance is like, I think it's like 8 feet. You definitely have to cut a big corner off. The mattress kind of ended like right there.
Yeah, the mattress wasn't as long.
Yeah, because we had those crates and stuff back here. And when we fit this, we're going to actually cut the mattress and shape it to this.
To fit.
It did give us, this is not an accurate representation obviously, but it gave us enough room up here for an anchor locker. I mean, it was small, but it was enough. We could get by with it. So I'm trying to figure out right now if I should just do it up to that same station and have a small but serviceable anchor locker, have some dead space back here, but also that's where the mast will be, and then we have some room for lockers. Or should I end the mattress on that intermediate behind it, so it would be 1 foot behind it, and that would give us basically here and here on both the ends would be 7 feet. The only disadvantage is that the mattress would go all the way to the bulkhead, so there'd be no storage back here, but there'd be a much bigger anchor locker, and the mattress would be wider up forward. Those are my options right now.
Well, I guess what's more important, the anchor locker space? I mean, we're kind of cutting the mattress no matter what.
Yeah, the fact that we're going to be living on our anchor when we're cruising.
Yeah, that's
like,
going to be really important.
I think, yeah, the whole anchor setup, the whole anchor system needs to be bulletproof, and I think it would be a huge benefit having more room up there for an anchor locker. And I think this is still going to be a sweet amount of space for our bed.
I'd say that where you seem to be leaning towards, I think that's a go. But we could still have lockers just smaller that are up against the back of that bulkhead for the head.
Yeah.
That are up there, that's like, you know, maybe that's for like the smaller stuff like socks and panties and whatnot.
What I envision for our kind of permanent clothes, his and hers, is just like we had on Black Pearl. Remember,
yeah, just the
up high against cabin to deck, like hold a deck joint area on both sides, just a long.
Whoops. I hope those were important notes.
A long locker on both sides that had multiple drawers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning more towards that, like option 2, bigger anchor locker. It's not really a smaller bed, it's just
different.
The bed takes up the whole area instead of the bed leaving a couple foot gap back here that we could shove some stuff in, but it's not really convenient to get to.
Yeah, I agree with where you're leaning towards.
Sweet.
I think do that. And just another thing, like, you know, for us personally, and it's our boat, we've never had a problem of like not having enough room for our personal things, but we've had problems like not having enough space for boat things or tools or spares. And yeah, the anchor locker, you like to carry a lot of chain, a lot of road.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important. So I think that outweighs.
Sweet.
Yeah.
On the same page.
Getting your crunches in, huh? Oh, it just run out?
Yeah. Right there.
Is that your last one?
No, I've got another one. Somewhere.
Whoops. I need shoes. Okay. So we've got Leo's help today again. And so last Saturday was when he was here, and we tackled the bottom sanding and scuffing off all the little tar boogers that squeezed out from her initial swell. And so now he's gonna come over today and we're gonna sand the top sides because we're not quite ready to paint the bottom until we're like 3 days out from launching. And pretty sure we're gonna tackle the cabin top planking because it's really just a small section. Might as well do it while we're still out. But yeah, we're looking at 2 weeks to launch. So we'll scuff up this top sides, and I don't think we'll get to painting today, but then I can paint that, and we're getting pretty close. Oh, and I'm gonna soup, but that can be a day where it's just me. So Garrett's gonna help me move all this stuff out of the way, and I'll find some scaffolding, and as soon as Leo shows up, we will get started. Oh, there he is. Been busy already.
Yeah, the water was busy today.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Got it. Throw it back in this bag and put your ice box for later.
Heck yeah. Got our scaffolding set up. Here we go.
You could hit these seams a little bit more, but maybe just like another once over it. But you're pretty much there. Yeah, just like, and most of this stuff is all right anyway.
So we got Leo here again helping us today, which is awesome. I'm filming inside right now because Ruth and Leo are outside, giving the top sides a quick sand before we're ready to paint. And then my job today is I'm trimming all of the overhangs on the cabin trim that I put on the other day. So I'm gonna knock all that stuff off, and then I can start dry fitting the planking that goes on the cabin top.
So of course I'm a lot slower, but the front part was the most kind of flaky where everything swelled up. So now We're gonna move all the scaffolding to the port side. It's impressive how much time you're left with just one more pair of hands. We made quick work of sanding the top sides, and if there's one thing Leo loves more than sanding, it's painting. Alright, souping it up.
Alright guys.
Woohoo! It's hard to see in the camera. It's already dark. What are you doing so far up there?
Just looking at the cabin and just figuring out exactly how I'm going to go about everything and what order to start in. So I think what I'll do first is I'll do the kind of the border around the cabin. So on both faces I'll have a piece that goes across and then 45s. That way I'll cover up on the end grain of the planks and just give it a nice border so it's got a nice like clean look. What I'm figuring out right now is if I want to do the same thing around the companionway, around the runners, or if I just want to like just run them straight and just butt them in.
see.
I'm kind of thinking it'll look better if I just run them straight and butt them in. I think at first I was like maybe it'd be cleaner if I do like, you know, run a piece, do like a, you know, a little round joint or something or whatever, but I think it'll look better if I just run them straight, because then it'll look more like a
deck.
a plank deck, because these would just be right on top of the deck planks. So I think that's what I'll do. Swab, what are you doing?
Unruly. To your bed. To your bed.
Leo, who's been out a couple times to help us on the boat now, surprised us when he showed up today. He stopped to throw a line in before he got to the boatyard and caught this sweet striper. And so yeah, he left us with this and it's dinner tonight. So thank you, Leo.
It looks delicious. Okay, I've made you wait long enough.
Yeah, definitely time to dig in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Most definitely inspires me to at least get out and throw a line in. I haven't fished in like 4 years.
And that was such a huge part of your life.
Mm-hmm. There's something different about like having a fresh caught fish where you can have a dinner like this where you just kind of like munch on a platter of food and it's like so good.
Family style.
Whereas like also on the other hand, like you can have a really fancy dinner and you can cook everything really nice and plate it and garnish it, and like there's something cool about that too. But like I really love just like when you go out and you harvest food and like, or you catch a fish and it's just like, all right, here's a big fucking fish, just like bam, all right, everybody eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you caught that, what kind of fish was it?
The jack.
The jack, and fed what, seven
people? Yeah.
Boom, on their cockpit table. Just laid it out and everyone's just like pulling stuff off and struggling to find like space in their bellies to put it all. I can't wait till we're doing this, and it's a fish that you caught off the boat or the dinghy in like a spot where we're anchored, and we're eating it on our table with like real cushions. And then like I can do the dishes in the sink. Ooh, this can be so great, because this is great.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support if you can.